Hi friends, today we are going to be adding color to our mandalas. Now, what we talked about before this video was analogous colors. And analogous colors are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, usually coming in groupings of 3. For when we color, if you want to just pick 2 colors fading from one to the other, that's fine, but it's those colors that are next to each other. So like yellow, yellow, orange, and orange, red, red, violet, and those in-between colors. Remember, those in-between colors are called tertiary colors. So what I've kind of done here is on the side I've kind of grouped my colors here with those colors that are kind of next to each other. Now for this, because our shapes are a little small, you don't have to do all 3 analogous colors. Maybe you're just going to fade from one color to the next. If you don't have all those in-between colors too, don't worry about it. You can just do yellow and orange, and then when you mix the 2 together in the middle, that's going to be that in-between yellow-orange. So don't worry if you don't have all these different shades, okay? Now, you can do it whatever colors you want. If you want to stick with a theme where you want to do all cool colors, you can. You could do all warm colors. I'm going to do a mixture of both. Just make sure whatever you do to one side, you're doing the same to the other side. So if you think about it as one square, I'm kind of going to color each square similar. So whatever I color this shape, I'm going to do the same to the other 4 shapes that are here, okay? Making it symmetrical. Remember, same on both sides. So I'm going to start with in the middle and work my way out. You can work from the outside, work your way in, whatever works best for you. So I'm going to start with some green, okay? And so this one is called a green-yellow. I'm going to do this big shape here. I'm going to start by coloring in. And remember, I'm not pressing too hard because I am going to be blending these colors together. Maybe go about halfway. And then I'm going to take my yellow-green. I'm going to go over top of that color. And I'm going to color it all the way to the edge there. So in the middle, I'm kind of blending the 2 together so it looks like it's fading from one color to the next. If you want to take a step farther, and I'm going to use my regular green here, you could do a darker green on the outside edge. But you don't have to do 3 colors. You can just do 2, especially for smaller shapes. That might work best. Make sure you always overlap so it looks like it's fading from one color to the next. So because I did that color here, I'm going to do the same thing to this side. And I highly recommend testing out colors and seeing if they blend together and look nicely together, even if they're next to each other on the color wheel. Sometimes crayons color turn out a little bit different than how they look on their paper. So it's always nice to have like a little testing paper next to you and that you can just test your colors on before you use them too. Go all the way to the edge here with that yellow-green. And then take my darker green on the edge. Now I could do the same colors here, or I could do something different because remember it's going to be a mirror image, so whatever I do to one half, I'm going to do the same to the other half. But now I'm going to go to these smaller shapes. Now I have some stripes in between this, but I can color directly on top of that color. And I think I'm going to use, maybe I'll do a pink here. Now because it's a smaller shape, I'm just going to use 2 colors. So I'm going to start with my lettered color in the middle. And maybe I'll do this all at the same time and do these shapes here. And then I'm going to take my violet red. Blend it on top of one another. Now, you can also press harder and lighter to get darker and lighter shades as well. So you can even use 1 color on your shape and just press hard and light too. Okay. All right. Maybe I'm going to do something different here. Maybe I'll do green and then fade to blue. So I'm going to start with my green in the middle. And again, crayons work really well, colored pencils, if you have oil pastels. I wouldn't use markers necessarily for trying to blend your colors. You can try it if that's all you have. But I like working with crayons and colored pencils best for doing this shading. And again, you want to make sure that you color over top of each other. I'm going to go all the way up to the edge, and then I'll take a darker blue and just do a little bit more blending on the edge there. Make your mandala super colorful. And I'm going to take my darker blue and just do a little bit darker on the edge. It's not much darker, but you can see. Okay. Now friends, you're going to continue coloring your mandalas until you fill your paper. Try thinking about using different colors next to each other. So because I use the blue here, I'm not going to use blue or green again in these spaces next to it. Maybe I'll even use a warm color just so that I can see a nice contrast. And try to use as many different colors as you can, making it super fun and colorful, and practicing using those analogous colors to blend from one color to the next. Remember, you always want to go over top of each other. And if you notice that they're not blending as well, just keep going back and forth over top of it. Like I might go back with this green just to go over top of it a little bit more. And don't press too hard to start because it makes it a lot easier to blend if you press lighter. You can always press darker later if you need to. Have fun with it. I can't wait to see what you come up with. And great work!